What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we got some spicy drama to talk about. Some pretty interesting stuff, honestly, that I'm like, oh, okay, this kind of happened, I guess. So there's some cheating allegations that have been going around, and it involves two of the top guilds in the game, Ka Empire and Ma Vanguard. So Ma Vanguard is accusing Ka Empire of cheating, and they say they have proof. Um, I wanted to talk about this today because I don't think really any other content creators probably going to cover it. Um, but I'm kind of in an interesting like position here because these are both my two recent Gauntlet guilds, and I like both of them. I think they're both great guilds, and it's really funny because I was not involved when this took place. This is when I was taking my break. Apparently, this happened in March, but I haven't really read much about it. I kind of got the bare bones of the structure, so I kind of want to like dissect this with you guys on Reddit. I'll post the Reddit thread in the description below if you guys want to take a look. But we'll just read it. I mean, it's public. It's not like it's a private message or anything, so I'll just read it. I'll give you guys my 2 cents and kind of see like where we go from here because it's kind of interesting. So let's go ahead and take a look. All right, that should be good. Okay, so this is on Swiggo's subreddit, caught cheating at TW. Proof attached. Okay. So the TLDR version. I mean, we'll just read the whole thing, but Call gained access to an account in Ma. Oh yeah, it's Vanguard Disorder. Sorry, Vanguard Disorder. Sorry, VDO. I'm just gonna say VDO because guys, get a shorter acronym, please. I know you merged, but the name's too long, please. Anyways, and use that account to gain access to their TW defensive plan and use to their advantage. Okay, well, this is a very familiar tune because this happens a lot in the Gauntlet. And sometimes it just doesn't get caught. So, right off the bat, I don't really ever condone cheating. I really care about TW and the integrity of the game because I think it's such a great game mode. And I've always said that Territory Wars is a battle of information, especially at the competitive level. It is a battle of information and judgment. Information being, what do we think our opponents set in the next zone? What are they using on our zones based on their scores? And how can we connect all the dots and line up all the stars and get 20s and be perfect? That is the goal. The judgment is obviously what are you setting, what are you keeping, and trying not to have any overflow of either. Like, you don't want to set too much, you don't want to set too little, and also your execution on your offensive counters. So again, battle of information and judgment. Really like the game mode. It's great. Long story. Okay, so we'll just kind of skim through this. So Lord Andrew, co-leader. That's right. I think he was the first Disorder guild leader when they merged. So now he's like co-guild lead, from what I remember. Cool guy though. Here to report clear evidence cheating of Ka Alliance and TW and their own is so extreme warrants actions from the competitive community. Okay, I'm not going to defend either guild because from what I know, and also what I've heard about, there has been allegations between Ma and Ka forever. They're just rivals. They're rival alliances. They will do everything and anything to help each other out. Well, not each other, but like the guilds within their alliances to make sure they're always beating each other. So there's always a lot of blood between these guilds. But I think that's also what makes the Gauntlet so much fun, is because there's a lot of character. There's a lot of shit talking, and just it's very competitive. And the thing is, for those of you that aren't familiar with the Gauntlet, it's like the top 20 TW guilds, and I think it's like the top 8 or 12. I can't remember how it works because I've never really dove that much into it. But basically, we always know who we're going to be fighting. We have a set schedule of when Ka is fighting Ma, and all the guilds in between. So they're always practicing. They're always planning months in advance for these specific wars. And so there's a lot of effort that gets put into these wars. So especially when there's a lot of rivalry going on, when stuff like this happens or people accuse stuff like this happens, it always causes drama, and it's always fun though. It's always entertaining to like read about it. And like I said, I'm not in the wrong because I've been in both guilds and I was in either when this took place. So like my hands are clean in this situation, or are they? I'm just kidding. They are. I'm kidding. I didn't do anything. I'm innocent. All right, so this is their board. Okay. Did not test any other teams except those four. We immediately took notes of this because they had set those exact four teams on defense. Reyes, air comms. Yeah, they specifically test those starting conclusions. Somehow Caw had gotten their hands on our map. Okay, so right off the rip, when you're accusing another guild of having your map, there's a bunch of things. There's a bunch of variables, first of all, especially at the competitive scene. The first one always people go to is they're cheating. They know exactly what they have. Like I said, battle of information. They somehow got your board. More often than not, and I've seen this happen a lot. They also could just have the same board as you. I don't know how many times I've been in a TW map where like we almost set the exact same thing and keep the exact same thing because it's the meta. Again, not defending anybody. I'm just saying that that's another possibility here to this allegations. And then for those of you that are saying, how do you see what they're testing? So when people test in TW, they go into the arena, and if they have like a guildmate that's also in the same arena, they'll set the team that they want to practice against, and then the other person goes in with the team that you're going to use on offense. So you can pre-record the battle. Obviously, you don't have any TW Omis active, so that's kind of like the downside to it, but it gives you a general idea or some footage, before, like a baseline before you go in. Or if it's too risky of a counter, you're like, you know what, we're gonna 86 counter, we're not gonna do it. So, and you can monitor people testing because there's bots that will track people when they change their arena team, or when they climb or fall in arena. So I mean, it's not that hard to track, and you'll get a ping saying, oh, so and so's doing it. So there's a whole spy versus spy game going on here, and it's great. I love it. This is great drama. We contacted Khan immediately, and we're told by Star-Lord, another cool dude. My former, I think he's guild lead and sea officer, I don't know, in Pimpo, everyone knows Pimpo, that they had heard about our SLKR comp from a member of our guild, and it was simply a coincidence to their defense that it was being tested. I mean, we did not believe them. Okay. I mean, that's usually the first judgment. It's like, no, you're lying. And, I mean, it is what it is. And Ben became looking over our membership for connections to, okay. We're doing, somebody discovered a player of Thusar had been locked out of his Thoughts and Shares account on August 3rd. That's a long time since August 3rd. Okay. And he was eventually able to regain access and has been running his account in video for the last 8 months. Interestingly, August 3rd was during another Caw Empire TW. I think that was the one I was involved. I might have been there for that one. I don't know. I've been in ones where I'm on their side, I'm on the other side. I don't know. I'd have to look back at history. While doing so, we discovered a player of ours had been locked out of his... oh, I've already read that, sorry. Discussions with Caw Empire officer confirmed that our own evidence that we did in fact have a compromised account, okay, and that Caw had been using this account to log in and steal our TW defense. Okay, so basically what that is they're saying they had access to their account to see their board. This whistleblower provided, again, they're not even saying the name. This whistleblower provided pages of screenshots and conversations with the officers date back to March 13, which immediately after CP defeated VDO in suspicious fashion. Well, to be fair though, CP's Caw Patrol, for those of you that don't know, that's like the big one in the Caw lines, and then obviously Ma 1 is the other one. So those are like the two big dogs. CP beating VDO, and this is before VDO merged. I'm not saying anything bad about VDO, but CP just has a lot of GP. So even if they did cheat or didn't cheat, when you know what I mean, when you're just stacked that much with GP, it's kind of like I'm not saying it's a hard argument, but it's really hard to tell whether they cheat or not just because that's where the whales are. Those are the guys keeping the lights on. So again, I'm not saying that VDO doesn't have a chance at beating CP back then, but it's just even when I was in Vanguard, it's like, dude, when we're fighting CP, we're like, we know we're not gonna win because they just have way too many tools. Not saying that there's a skill gap. It's just we will run out of gas. They probably won't run out of gas as quickly. I have included several of the screenshots with the whistleblower's permission. Okay, well, again, it'd be nice to know if the whistleblower is, because then that adds evidence to this. Because just by having, I mean, I get it, a whistleblower is a whistleblower, but if we knew who the whistleblower was, that would add another layer to this. The validity of this post, including the screenshots as evidence. Both Compire, Paw Patrol, CE, and CP have been using the thoughts and shares to gain unfair advantage. TW, with the P mentioned is Pimpo. This cheating goes back at least several wars. I don't know about that, but I've also included an analysis. It's a problem. So here's one of the issues I have with this. I mean, I know sometimes this evidence takes a long time to get like to gather, but like if this has been happening so long, like people shift guilds too, so it's kind of hard to, I don't know. I mean, I guess the officers usually don't switch, but analyze March 10 video CP war reference vicious where it was so obvious CP and videos maps. Another analyze from 1/4 January 14th Compire war where Star-Lord states that we had VG's maps. So here's the other thing too. It's not hard. I mean, this is obviously like, if this is true, like this, if this is not the right way to get people's maps. Does it happen? It happens. It's not the first time I've heard about this. But like you can ask the other guild. You can be like if it's let's say one guild is fighting another guild. Guild A and Guild B are fighting in TW. And then next week it's Guild A and Guild C. Well, Guild C can just go ask Guild B, hey, what did they set? Can you show us what they used? And more than likely, they might have the same map. They might not. People are always changing their maps. They kind of cater their defense for every war. But again, if you have the screenshots, I guess you have the screenshots. Obviously, everything can be photoshopped these days. I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is not real. This is fake. I mean, it is what it is. Take it for what it is. It just sucks that we don't know who the whistleblower is, because then that adds a whole nother layer to it. But we'll just go through it, see what happens. I want to briefly add that the exercise gives me no pleasure at all, but Ka has irreparably harmed the owner of the compromised account, who now must shift to a more casual guild or risk leaving leaking our maps again. I mean, at that point, like, I mean, you got to contact Google support if your account gets leaked and you've been locked out for that long. Like, I'm not saying it's his fault, but like, I wouldn't kick that person out. Like if you're more concerned about the person's account and their information, but you're also more concerned about winning and losing in a video game. Like, I get it. People spend money. This is like, the big leagues. But like, I don't know about putting them in a casual guild is like what they deserve. That kind of, I think that's a little extreme in my opinion. So I personally don't agree with that. I think like, if you know that person's innocent, you keep them in your guild and you just get the IT thing fixed. I mean, that's I think what's fair. If you know the account's compromised, then you can also use that to your advantage. You can set stuff. I mean, not really, but I was gonna say you can try to set stuff to trick them, but that doesn't really work. No, not anymore in this game because we have way too many characters. And they have disgraced the game mode. Oh, yada yada. I'm so sick and tired of people calling out other guilds. Like I said, there's a lot of shit talk and a lot of competitiveness. Nobody's clean. Nobody is clean in the Gauntlet. There's been so much shady stuff that's gone on over the years, even before I was even in it, that I would hear about and I would see screenshots of. Nobody is like, that's what I'm saying. It is the competitive scene. Okay. I am against cheating. I'm against any form of cheating. But again, this is like, I don't want to say this is all these players have, but like once you have everything in the game, or once you get a pretty big roster, it gets pretty lonely at the top of the mountain. You know what I mean? So having this excitement of going up against a guild you've been practicing and prepping for months, there's a big like anticipation, like a roller coaster. There was a lot of anticipation, and just like people look forward to these rival matches all the time because there's always drama, there's always just shit talking. It's great. It's absolutely great, and people love that environment. And it's a very exclusive environment because everyone else, it's like you get random opponents in TW. Again, I'm not saying I agree with the cheating. I don't. If this is true, But calling out another guild and saying they've disgraced the game mode, like, dude, like, nobody's clean at this. Like, it is what it is. Many of us in the community space live to play. Yeah, absolutely. But like I said, it's a battle of information. And I know it sounds like I'm contradicting myself by saying it's a battle of information, but getting their information in an illegal way is cheating. That's not good. You know, and I mean, there's ways to prevent cheating like this, like leaks, because a lot of guilds, what they do is they'll say, hey, we need you to have all these teams modded with these speeds, and you're like, okay, great, what am I using this for? I'm just curious. I'm like, we're not going to tell you. They don't say what their offensive counters are and how you're going to use them, or even how you're supposed to play them until the day of, or until you're actually in the battle, because they don't want people to leak what's going on before. I mean, you can still leak stuff like during the war, but it's not really as effective during the war because it's really hectic, because you got to get your battles in before time, you know, you kind of get down to the wire. But this kind of stuff does suck. If the account was compromised, I mean, I wouldn't blame the account owner and move him to a casual guild. That's not his fault. You're just hurting him for something that wasn't his fault. You know, whether, you know, if this is true and he Call Empire did have access to account, you know, you can blame Call Empire by saying they're the ones making him go to a casual guild, but in the end of the day, you're the one that makes that decision. You know, I would keep him in there because you're just going to make him lose resources and stuff like that, and then just have him get the IT problem as soon as possible. Like, you know, contact Google support or Apple, whatever his provider is, and see what they can do, because it's clearly an issue where nobody in the game can fix. If the account's compromised, that's a whole nother issue that's outside of the game. So I wouldn't punish him for that. Yeah, that's just what I would say. I'm not going to go through the screenshots. They're here. I kind of want to read some of the comments, though. But, I mean, yeah, it's just the two guys going back and forth. Can't tell who it is, who took these screenshots. It'd be really funny if I scroll to one and, like, my name pops up. Like, uh-oh. My bad. No, I was never in the war room for Call Empire. I was in there for Ma Video. Vanguard, oh. Yeah, video, yeah, sorry. Yeah, so here's the breakdown of the hotbot showing what was set, what was, you know, how many holds. Okay. I mean, so you have this stuff, which is good. But again, we don't know who the leaker is, so it's like, I'm not saying this stuff is fake, but, you know, you kind of need to know who the whistleblower is for this kind of stuff. Let's go to some of the comments. Oh, I was reading this. You've never tasted seafood like this. Kind of need to go to the market and get some more salmon now. Kind of hungry. I read every screenshot and have no clue what is happening. Well, if that's your top comment or your newest comment, all right. Mr. Summary below the pictures. My bad. Okay, there we go. So yes, this guy just read it without the pictures. Okay, so he's all caught up now. Not gonna lie, it sounds like it really sucks to be playing at the level if you guys put yourselves through it. This sounds exhausting. Sorry this happened to you. I mean, like I said, it's the top of the game. Like, you do everything and anything you can to win. I'm against cheating, to be clear. It's just like the MLB. It's just like the MLB, you know, professional sports. You look at the latest cheating scandal in the MLB, it's the Houston Astros. Do I blame every player on the Houston Astros team? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There are some bigger names like Altuve and their, you know, their general manager, and that team's going to be staying forever. But I mean, are they the only ones cheating? No. There was like a season ago or 2 seasons ago, Kiermaier, player I can't stand, made a slide at home plate, and I forgot what team they were playing, but the catcher's like playbook fell out of his pocket or fell out of his little wrist guard, whatever. And Kiermaier, when he slid at the plate, it was like within arm's reach of him. He immediately picked it up and kind of like just walked into the dugout real quick, kind of hid it in his hand, and he immediately handed it to the coach. And the catcher was looking for it. Like, oh, where'd my playbook go? And the replay at the end of the game shows he picked it up clearly. Like, he looked at it for like a split second, knew what it was, picked it up and went. Is that cheating? Yeah. Was it the catcher's fault? I mean, yes and no. He didn't do it intentionally, losing his playbook. But, you know, again, battle of information. And Kiermaier at the end of the game, he got interviewed about it, or at the next game, whatever. And he denied it. I remember he was saying he just thought it was a piece of paper, a piece of trash, like, and he picked it up and wanted to get off the field. I'm like, okay, yeah, dude, you knew what it was. Like, it was a playbook. It was folded. There was graphs, text on it. You knew exactly what it was. You have one of your own. So my point I'm trying to make with this is, like, they're not the only ones that have cheated. Okay, and the fact, I mean, yeah, they're the ones in the spotlight right now. Compire, if this is all true, it is what it is. But is this gonna stop? Probably not. I'm not saying with Compire. I'm just saying, like, in general, this type of cheating, is it gonna stop? Probably not. There's plenty of cheating that's been going on the top levels of both TW and GAC for a long time, and CG doesn't do anything about it. Prime example being, I think it was like a year or two ago, there was like one player that was in the top 8 and had like 4 accounts in the top 8 of GEC. And you're probably asking, well, how's that cheating? Well, one, he had access to accounts that weren't really his, but he was playing them anyways. So he got to see what everyone was setting on defense, because he got to play everybody. So the person that goes 0-2 and fights him, if it's not himself, he knows exactly what they're doing, because he had access to all that information. But nothing gets done about it, and there's not really a way to prevent that. And this is why CG has the account, terms of service with account sharing and stuff like that. But at the same time, if you enforce the rules against account sharing, I think you're going to hurt people. You're going to hurt more people than you're going to help people. There's a lot of players that have been gifted accounts from like whales or people that retire, and they have a 2-3 million account, and they're like, hey, here's a 10 mil, and they'll just take it. Other content creators, a lot of their alts sometimes have been gifted to them. So you're kind of, and these players aren't trying to get to the top 1%. You know what I mean? Like, they're not trying to be the best TW player, the best GC player. They're just trying to enjoy the game. So if you enforce that, you're just going to hurt a lot of players, because this issue that's happening right now, it's taking place in a very tiny bubble in a very large pond. It's not going to affect a whole lot of people. Unfortunately, like I said, you're just going to have to deal with it, and I hope both guilds just kind of move on past it, because again, I don't condone any of this type of behavior, this way to win. There's a lot of trolling that goes around in the Gauntlet, but this is not the way to do it. Imagine being sad enough to cheat in a mobile game, and let alone a game mode that doesn't offer crystals. This guy doesn't understand TW. It's funny when people say that about a mobile game, that the entire poster shows that in the same amount of time and effort top guilds put into mobile game. Well, that's why they're top guilds. If they didn't put the effort, they wouldn't be top guilds. I've seen more effort and cash put into mobile games than PC games outside of EVE. Yeah, dude. I mean, mobile games are kind of crazy how much money they generate. Insane cheating and still... Oh, imagine cheating and still losing. Yeah, people... It would be crazy if that's what happened. Seems like all this was enabled by account swapping, which is against terms of service. Again, we just kind of covered that. Oh no! Oh, there's no P there, so I don't know who Pimo is, but I think I'm supposed to say Pimpo. Cash always wins, cheating always wins. For a top guild, they must be pretty trash to have their opponent's game plan and still lose. I mean, that statement alone can be for almost every guild in the Gauntlet, because like I said, most of the time, if Guild A fights Guild B, and then Guild A fights Guild C can just ask Guild B for the game plan and what they used. So, I mean, again, it's about... TW is all about information, judgment, execution. You can have their game plan, but if you still lose because you used poor judgment, or you just, didn't execute properly... So just because you know what they're going to have, everything they're going to do, I mean, that gives you an advantage. That doesn't mean you're still going to win. This will be interesting considering Arnold's and Colin Park. Yeah, Arnold's in there. One of the game's biggest creators is in a cheating guild. Again, I'm going to reiterate, not every player was involved in these allegations. You look at these screenshots, there's like 2 names on like almost all of them, okay? Maybe a third one. That's what I'm saying. You can't blame the players in the guild. Like, the officers are the ones driving the TW ship. And again, it's only a couple people. So it only takes like 1 or 2 people to like have this blow up. So Arnold gives a shit about TW. I'm not going to comment on that. he should address it, even if he's not cheating. I really don't think he is. He's like a de facto associate with cheaters. Arnold's been in almost every. Here's the thing: Arnold's been in almost every like top end guild in this game. You know, going back to all the way to like Team Instinct days. I think he was even in Maw for a little bit. But what I'm saying is like if like they're caught cheating, if these I'm not caught cheating, if there's allegations against these guilds, like it's just stupid in my opinion to like go after Arnold, because like he's just 1 out of 50. You know, it's not like the whole guild is conspiring to cheat. If it might be 1 or 2 people that have allegations against him, but yeah, Arnold is, yeah. What a travesty. COD top leadership are crooks. I don't think so. I don't think so. If COD leadership tried half as hard to get out of their parents, okay, they probably live halfway. Okay, this guy probably lives in his parents' basement, because I don't know who still uses that insult. Where is the integrity? I mean, yeah, like I said, the integrity of the game matters, but this stuff's gonna happen. Like, it just sucks when it does, and we just kind of have to move on and move past it, or find out measures to prevent it, which also is kind of like another factor of the game mode. Imagine actually wanting to cheat in a game mode. Okay, these are kind of all the same. So I have to ask if this account was actually compromised. How did they stay in the guild for so long without the original owner actually complain to you guys and Discord that he's lost his account, and you guys are letting him say they're apparently that's a fair point. That's a very fair point. I'm sure there's like an answer for that, you know, but like if you knew it was going on for so long, like that's one thing I wonder. If VDO knew that Ka was cheating before this war, because if that's the case, I mean, I guess you still post this thread, but like you don't make it where like they're talking about it like it's such a surprise up here. You know what I mean? But like if it's been going on for 8 months that you knew like there's cheating going on, you've had any speculations, I feel like you kind of let this sit for too long. This is the drama I like. Absolutely. But yeah, I'll wrap up this video, because the video's gone a lot. I can't speak. It's going on a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. But this is interesting. It was interesting because, like I said, both guilds, I really enjoyed being both of them. I still enjoy both of them, and they are in this bit of a drama. I don't think this changes anything between guilds. There's always going to be drama between these two guilds. You know, these are just allegations of someone, you know, saying that, you know, they have screenshots and they have access to an account. Again, we don't know who the whistleblower is. And if you guys want, I'll put the, like I said, I'll put this in the description. But it's just, it sucks when this stuff happens, but it's also not surprising when it happens. And I'm not saying it's surprising because it's coming from Call Empire. I'm like, no, I'm not putting Call Empire Blast at all, or Call Alliance. I'm just saying this stuff happens because TW in the Gauntlet is a whole nother animal. Like I said, there's a lot of beef, a lot of trolling between these two alliances, and they will honestly kind of just do whatever to win because they get enjoyment out of beating each other. That's all it is at the end of the day. I mean, if there was money on the line here, that's a totally different story. But there's no money on the line. This is what these people signed up for, not defending the cheating. Again, I don't think it's right, and I hope that, you know, whoever is right here about the allegations, I hope there's no more cheating, but I know that's, you know, going to fall on deaf ears. That's just reality of it, you know. I personally have never been involved in a cheating scandal, and if I did, I probably would have just walked away from it because I really enjoy TW. I think it's a great game mode. But again, this is a very, very small issue for the community. You're not going to see this outside of the Gauntlet, because like I said, the Gauntlet, we know who we're going to fight. We plan for who we're going to fight. We plan weeks, months in advance. Majority of the player base that does TW, they don't know who the hell they're going to fight. They probably don't even fight in the same guilds, like within a 2-3 month span. And if you do, you're like, oh hey, it's these guys again. You weren't planning for it. So again, this is just drama. I don't think it's really going to go anywhere. CG's, I hope they don't do anything, because I don't think any action really is involved here, because there's been so many times where other people accuse other guilds and other people are at fault. And I mean, it's not like they're using APKs or anything. That would be something different. If they were using APKs, if there was like allegations against that, where like, you know, they're sending in Gear 1 characters that kill everything, Yeah, I would say yeah, you're literally damaging the game and you're ruining it for everybody. I'm not saying this is better, but this stuff happens all the time. And a lot of times it doesn't get caught. So I hope both guilds can move on from it and we can just go back to killing each other later. Anyways, guys, have a great weekend. I'll see you later. Bye.